Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and this is a bit of a random live stream because we are halfway between Christmas and the New Year, and I can't remember things working out this way for quite a while. So we've had a live stream in between those two Eve live streams, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But hello to you. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you guys had a great Christmas and that you all got what you wanted and those kinds of things, and that maybe you have recovered from maybe the meals or the amount you were drinking. I don't know, but certainly it's always a time of the year where a lot of eating is done and some very nice things that are being eaten, especially Christmas pudding, which has to be, I don't know whether it's one of the most calorific puddings ever, but very nice indeed. It's all right, just once a year. But anyway, let's not get into all of that stuff. Let me have a look at you guys in the live chat room tonight. So hello to you. Let me give you a shout out in there. We have Paul, X-Plan, Rojo, Laugh Out Loud, Can, Cindy, Angela, Mo, Diamond Girl 1234, Howard's in there as well, and Bob, Laura, Daviana. I've probably said that all wrong, but I was going through too quickly, and Sue I think was going through there as well. So hello to you. As for what we're going to be doing tonight on the live stream, I don't really have much of an idea, because it's just going to be one of those random ones. And the other thing for tonight is that we will be having a Phil Jam, or at least I will try to do a Phil Jam, because I'm not sure whether people knew that I was going to live stream tonight, because I didn't announce it. I just thought, well, it's a Saturday night, so I'm going to do that. And I know that a lot of people lose track of which day it is, especially during the Christmas week. But I will just load up something on the laptop which I've got here. It will just be a totally random backing track, because I haven't been sent one by Joe, or at least I haven't seen one. So obviously trying to sort it all out on this, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than normal, but I'll do it how I've done the other live streams. Just go for a random one and see what happens. Now let me get the lights goal up on screen, because it is technically Phil Jam number 292 if we do on tonight, and if we hit 292 likes, then we will have a Phil Jam. So let me get the likeometer up on screen as well, because we are at 185 likes so far. And if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And I'm just seeing on my screen, I don't know why, but it's cropped. So normally on my screen, when I set up my software, I can see a wider image than I can see now. So it's cropped on what I'm seeing for whatever reason. Maybe people at home can see more of the picture than I can. But anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are. And I always say they're the foundation of everything that I do, and that never changes. Everything that I do on my channel is possible due to the support that I get from these people at the bottom of the screen. So a massive thank you to them. So I think we're pretty much ready to get into the live stream without too much more to be added. It's just this, the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. But for those people that do donate and they can't help themselves, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below, but you don't have to donate. Right, I'm just having a look in the live chat room. Oh, Cindy says, did you get a statue for Christmas? Yes, I did. And this is the thing, that because I've had a bit of a rearrangement of what's going on, and we've now got the Tanglewood, this mooring shot, and let me try and get this. Now, this is on my screen before I start. You can see this and a little bit of the amplifier, but when I start the live stream, it must crop it to a different ratio for a live streaming. But I'm going to leave this here, and I don't know, the live stream time's getting in the way a bit, but I'm going to try and move it here. And we're going to see if anybody knows what it is from. That's going to be the competition for tonight in the live chat room. I'll keep an eye on that and make sure you tag at Wings of Pegasus if you know what this relates to. A little bit of a quiz tonight, but yes, that was a Christmas gift, and it's going to be an addition to the table. So now I've got it's a little bit of, I don't know, movie trivia that people can try and figure out what it's from and what the thing on the wall's from, but I think people might know that already. So Angela says Rocky, Cindy says it's Rocky, and Melody Rocks and B, and Hillary and Dean says Rocky, and Judy says Boston Marathon. So I mean, yeah, it's something that's not. It's not really a marathon. Maybe a marathon that Rocky did run, but yes, it is indeed the statue of Rocky that was in, at least in the movie, in what I think is in Philadelphia, where he goes up those steps, and at the top, in the first movie, this is kind of what he does at the top. But then there's a statue that was made out of it, and that was in Rocky 3 was the statue. And I don't know do people know this in the live chat room? And yeah, people are saying Rocky for Boxing Day. I didn't even make that connection, but yeah, it would have been good to have that connection, have made that in my head, because then I could have said something clever about it, but I didn't make that connection. So yeah, people in the live chat room, maybe you can answer this, whether the statue was there in real life at any point or not. I don't know whether it was or not. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that I know that in like the Rocky movies, I don't know whether it was, maybe it's the Rocky 5, and it's not a movie that I'm kind of particularly into, but was it in that movie where in the storyline they took away his statue and that was something that he was angry about? Or maybe that was Rocky Balboa, that movie. I'm not sure. But if you can let me know in the live chat room, or Karen says I don't think it was. Maybe I'm just getting confused with the movies and real life, because I think it would be cool to have it there in real life, but then again you think, well, then anybody can make a movie about anything, and then if it's successful, then you have to have whatever it was a statue of in that particular place just because of the movie. Yeah, I don't know where that would end, but yeah, anyway, that's the new edition. It's actually quite cool because it looks like he's standing on top of it's live stream time, that like he's got a little stage there. So there you go. That was totally accidental, but yeah, there we have it. So now moving forward into tonight's live stream, we did have a video last night that I made, which was interesting to say the least, because it was covering a Christmas performance and one of these shows that's during the build up to Christmas. So it's really recent. And in the write-up for this particular show, it says, live performances, live performances with an 800-strong congregation, and the Manchester Inspirational Choir, and orchestra, conductor, all that. And then you listen to this performance, and it's quite literally the 2010 CD that they've put on. So, yeah, that's something that I did find. I say it in a lot of videos now, where I find it weird with what's going on, knowing that you're just not singing, and they're just putting on a CD, which is a bit strange. So the other thing about it was, now I think instrumentally this gives people like a real headache, because the pianist has now got to pretend to play perfectly to the timing of a CD, of a performance in 2010. And that was the problem when we looked at it there's a little passage where I think he does a really good job of trying to match the timing. But in one particular part, he plays the keys, and it's always that expression of lifting your hand up to give it a little bit of pizzazz. But when you lift your hand up quickly, the problem is if the keys don't sound, it's going to look, it's going to look a little bit off, and people think, what's going on there? And then when the hand's in the air, you then hear the keys afterwards. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I mean, since that video, I've seen, there have been a lot of more high profile performances recently, and I tend to then get lots of messages that are sent to me that all ask me to look at a particular performance. And one of those performances, which I will feature, I don't know, probably at the beginning of next year, it's interesting in that the footage that I was asked to take a look at, I had a look at, and everything was quite obvious as to what was going on. And then I looked at the official footage, and the official footage has been changed from what actually happened, so that it's showing something else happening that it's obvious that they're trying to hide what was going on. But never fear, I have the original footage, so I'll be able to point it all out and tell you exactly what the TV company are doing. And it really does speak to, when talking about a performance that isn't actually what people think it is, sometimes people say, oh yeah, but what's the problem? It doesn't matter, either you like it or you don't like it. But the problem is when we now, and I now, have proof and undeniable evidence that proves that they are trying to hide something about a performance in order to make it seem like it was live. So yeah, we'll get into that next year, 2026, which we're approaching really fast, which is interesting. I always say that the years seem to go past more quickly. The next always quicker than the last. So anyway, getting back to the fact that you don't have to donate, and watching is great. Now what I'm going to do is just jump into the super chat window, because Paul donated $2 in there. Thank you for that. And this is something else that I haven't actually changed, but it has been Christmas, so I've got a bit of an excuse. Right, so there we go. We are now at 516,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing. And yeah, it's very much appreciated. It's a crazy number, and we'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But what I will say is that ever since, it's exactly the same as earlier in the year, in February, I started mentioning about authentic vocal and that channel that I have, and looking at performances that are genuine, all this kind of stuff. And then the figures dropped off the cliff, my viewing figures for my channel. And the same thing, let me just get rid of this. Thank you guys for subscribing. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because the same thing has happened now when I've released the vocal coaches video, singing totally naturally. I've got exactly the same thing going on. But the interesting thing is, as you can see, we've now got 516,000 subscribers. The subscriber count is maintaining, it's solid, but the views have just massively dropped off. So I'm thinking, well, how can I be getting the same amount of subscribers with a particular amount of views, and then I get the same amount of subscribers and then nobody's watching? You think, well, how is that possible? Other than people subscribing and not being told about the video. So I think this is what's going on at the moment, is people unfortunately are not getting notified. And I didn't receive a message from somebody probably yesterday, maybe the day before, saying that that they said, oh, I'm glad that you've reappeared in my feed because you disappeared. So I'd gone missing recently, and obviously they weren't getting the notifications for the videos. So at this point, again, I'm going to say, if you want to make sure that you get notified for every video, you're going to have to go over to patreon.com/ youtube.com/wings of Pegasus, which is there, and you can start a free account and you'll get notified for each video that I release. And this is just sometimes when people do request a video that I've already done, but they didn't get notified for it, and it might even be a recent video. So yeah, that's the place to go to make sure that you never miss a video. So it's a bit of a shame. I'm not sure whether people are being unsubscribed, because that's what happened earlier in the year, and I don't know, it's just way too coincidental for the same thing to be happening the only time I mention authentic vocal in the other channel that I've got. So yeah, I'm not sure what the solution is for that, but I guess there doesn't really have to be a solution. Over on Authentic Vocal, I think we're up to about 4,500 subscribers, something like that, in that region. And I know that over there, it's going to be a lot harder to get subscribers, because that is the channel that is literally promoting real singing and performances that are real and aren't lip synced or mimed or post pitch corrected or auto tuned. So that's the kind of channel that, yeah, I think YouTube probably doesn't want a lot of people checking out. But, you know, it's great that we've got 4,500 subscribers over there, which, you know, is a decent number. So over there, we'll keep on, you know, doing what I want to do with it in the future. I know that in 2026, I'm probably going to be uploading more videos and very much featuring the bands and artists that are playing fully live and yeah, not using auto-tune or anything like that. I will be featuring them on Authentic Vocals. So you might see some analysis videos from here popping up over there. And I don't know whether it's going to be better for me to just occasionally mention Authentic Vocal. It seems like, yeah, as soon as I do mention it, YouTube doesn't like it very much at all. The algorithm, yeah, the algorithm really punishes me for even mentioning a place where you can go to see real performances. And yeah, this is the other thing. It's difficult because it's a balancing act between showing, yeah, the real performances, but then people knowing which bands or artists aren't actually playing live anymore or singing live. So yeah, I'll keep on doing what I do here on this channel, because yeah, I know that 516,000 people is great to be subscribed, and yeah, I keep on taking the requests. If you do have any requests for future analysis videos, make sure that you do email requests at wingsofpegasus.com, because I do have a business email, and people email that business email with requests. And yeah, it's great to get lots of requests, but the problem with that is that the business email is for business emails, and people that I've worked with in the past, and you know, projects that I've worked on, they might be emailing me, and it's very difficult to pick that out, because I might, you know, have like 50 requests for videos in that email as well. So yeah, now on that business email, I've had to make an auto reply so that people know that it's just a business email, and I can read through the emails that do come through there, but I can't reply to everyone, because yeah, there's kind of way too much going on and way too many emails. But yeah, make sure the requests go to requests@wingsofpegasus.com. Right, now we will jump into the PayPal window as well, because there's been a few donations in there. Thank you guys for these. And I'm just going to make sure. I don't know whether we mentioned Tim in the last live stream, who donated £10, but Tim said not much, but hope it helps, Tim. So thank you for that, Tim. I think I did address that. I said, yeah, it's not about the amount of money, and you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic, but thank you for that, Tim. And Colette donated £10, so thank you for that. And the message is, thank you for all the great authentic entertainment. You rock. So thank you for that. And Paul has donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, here we grow again. 516,000 subscribers. Hooray. Let's have fun tonight. Spike the likes, all y'all. Peace, love, and rock. So thank you for that. And Karen donated £5, and Karen says, "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 516,000 subscribers. I hope you had a happy and memorable Christmas and that you received presents that made you smile brightly. If so, I wish I was there to see your smiling face. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that. And okay, Lynn has made a donation, or it says it's pending, but thank you for this, Lynn. It's a pending donation of £75, so thank you for that. And I don't see a message with that because it's displaying as a different kind of message with this pending thing going on, but thank you guys for the donations. They are very much appreciated, but you don't have to donate. So right now we have exactly the same thing going on at the top of the live chat room that we have in our live streams, which is the vote for tonight's cover video. It's between All Right Now and Parisian Walkways. So whichever one of those you want to see, I'm just trying to see, All Right Now has 58% of the vote so far. So if you want to hear that, then you can vote for that as well. But if you want to hear Parisian Walkways, then vote for that at the top of the live chat room. And Malteser says, last year Wings of Pegasus was A- at beginning of year. I don't know what that means. Yeah, unless what I did have at the beginning of the year with the authentic vocal thing, as soon as I mentioned that, it's the I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's the only time that I've ever seen losing subscribers. I had a minus figure, which means that apparently people were leaving the channel. So yeah, I'd never ever seen that before, and it just so happens that it was immediately after authentic vocal that people were kind of unsubscribing, which I can only imagine. Well, I know the real reason for it, because people were being unsubscribed, and then they were telling me, and they went through subscribing, and then they checked like the next day and they'd been unsubscribed. So it was people being removed without their knowledge, but also without their consent, because they thought they were subscribed and did subscribe, but then were obviously unsubscribed for whatever reason. So yeah, that's what was happening at the beginning of the year. But this time, the subscriber count has stayed solid. So you think if the same amount of people are subscribing, surely that means the same amount of people are watching the videos. But it seems like I'm still getting the same amount of subscribers, but nobody's watching the videos. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, very weird stuff going on. But hopefully the beginning of next year will, I don't know whether will be looked on more favourably, but I guess it doesn't matter. I'm still going to do what I do, and if it's bad for my channel that what I'm doing is not getting pushed out there, I'm not going to change what I'm doing to now try and just say that, this is amazing and it's such a great performance. And then I know deep down that what I'm looking at either isn't real, or it's been post-pitch corrected, and the vocals weren't actually as accurate as we're hearing. So yeah, I can't just sit there and I don't think you can do an analysis video, and this is why I always mention about the word analysis, because I always introduce every video as an analysis video so that people understand that when I'm talking about a performance, if the performance has tuning on it, for example, in an analysis, you have to mention that, because that's what it is. You've got to mention everything about the performance. And when something isn't what you're hearing, you've got to say that. So I know that maybe reaction videos are different, that's not about actually saying what's going on, it's just about people looking at someone's reaction, and that's really as deep as it goes with reaction videos. So yeah, that's why the analysis part is really important. But anyway, we'll keep on going in 2026 we're now getting into the point where it does sound a little bit futuristic, and like in Back to the Future, when I can't remember what date it was, but it was probably something like, I don't know, 2012 or 2016 or something. So yeah, we're already way past that. Now, what would be interesting is if a movie, I don't think a movie really, apart from, I suppose, maybe the most popular one like Terminator and Terminator 2, about having a computer entity like an AI that is then taking over the world. It's amazing how movies start to predict the future. What, like with Star Trek, I think it was Star Trek, where they had the, effectively like a mobile phone, but they he reported into this thing and said like star date, whatever it was, and contacting Scotty on his little radio thing which wasn't a radio, but it was a way of talking to somebody who was very far away wirelessly. But then we have that. The only thing that they didn't have was the world's knowledge in the device, because now that's what we have as well. So you could say, well, that's even more impressive than something that science fiction had before. So it's going to be really interesting to see what else happens in the future, like what else is being predicted. But I think certainly with AI, it's already a bit weird how things are changing with AI. Just in every single corner of the world, it seems like AI is really heavily involved. But Malteser said, I was talking about your Social Blade rating is based on engagement versus subscribers. So thank you for that. And yeah, I think if that's another website that maps out, or at least kind of reports on figures, those sites, from what I've seen, because I've had people message me before saying, your subscriber count has gone down by 50,000 or something. These sites are so random that, because it's not coming from YouTube, it's coming from a third-party site that's trying to kind of predict what the numbers are, and they just get them wildly wrong. So yeah, I wouldn't trust any third-party sites with getting facts or figures about YouTube. It's probably YouTube is the best place to to get data if that's what you're looking for. But all I see is through the YouTube Studio app. So it kind of gives you just a breakdown of the analytics, so you can see exactly what's going on with the channel. And that's where, it stands out more, because having had a channel for such a long period of time, I know how it works, and I know generally that when you're getting the same amount of subscribers, you're getting the same views. That's kind of how it works, because you're not going to say, for example, if nobody was watching your channel and you were getting subscribers, that's impossible, because nobody's watching your channel. So when you're getting loads of people watching your channel and then nobody's subscribing, you think, well, again, those two things don't really go hand in hand, and they're contradictions. Whereas when you've got lots of people watching your videos and lots of people subscribing, then that's normal. So once you get one of those other two situations, it's just something that's really weird and has never happened before. The only time it's happened is when I was talking about Authentic Vocal earlier in the year. So yeah, that's all I can relate it to. Very, very weird, but it seems like, it's just something to do with the algorithm. But right, now let me get the Lycometer up on screen, because that's disappeared because I looked at the donations, and already we are at 303 likes. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. That means that we're going to be having, or attempting to have, a Phil Jam at the end of tonight's live stream, and it's going to be Phil Jam. It's kind of an unofficial Phil Jam, number 292 is what it's going to be, and just a random one that I'll pick from the laptop that's plugged in, and we've got YouTube on the go as well. Now, the other thing that was really, this has happened now 2 live streams in a row, where I've literally started the live stream and YouTube has logged me out of my own live stream. It's actually logged me out of my whole account. So I'm live, and this is where it's really weird. So I'm live, but I'm logged out of my YouTube account. And I was going to mention this last time, but I forgot that it happened, because when I'm setting everything up, it's all a bit of a blur as to what's going on. And yeah, because I got logged out, it meant that when I was logged out, I could then see that I was live on the screen, but I was watching it like a third person. So then I had to log in again to my own live stream. So yeah, that happened last time. And the fact that it happened again, it just made me remember thinking, what is going on there? Where, yeah, that there's an issue where I get logged out of, but it's when starting the live stream. That's what's weird about it, that I'm logged in, everything's fine, I can see the comments, and then I click on, go live, because it's got the feed and everything, and then it says you have been signed out of your YouTube account. So yeah, hopefully that won't keep on happening, because it just means that the time it takes me to then log back into my YouTube account and get back into my live stream that is still going on just means it takes a longer time for me to start the live stream. But that's the advantage of having the pre-stream role that I have. When it's like connecting, it gives me a bit more time to get everything sorted out. So yeah, that can be the reason as to why sometimes it takes a long time to then get into the first video for the live streams to start, because I have to re-log into my account. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So anyway, right, now we are at what? Oh, perfectly 20 to midnight. And just to give you guys a heads up of what's going to be happening tomorrow night, we're going to be having another video. And that's probably going to be a more, I don't know, light-hearted or positive type video. But then again, I'm not sure how the algorithm's going to look at the video. But yeah, it'll be something to do with what I've been doing recently. So that'll be tomorrow night. And then, Tuesday night, there's going to be no live stream, because that is going to be the day before New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve, we are going to be having a live stream as we always do. So yeah, don't panic if nothing happens on Tuesday night. And yeah, I'm not going to be doing 2 live streams in a row. And I think then we're just back to normal, which is going to be Friday, Sunday, Wednesday. Those are the video nights, and live streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Now, when I was doing the last live stream, but especially the live stream before, I couldn't talk very much. I was probably a lot better on Christmas Eve, but people have been asking about my tooth and my toothache, my infection that I had, and I've now started another batch of antibiotics, because I finished the first course and I was given another course to do, just in case. And I've now started that because I've still got a little bit of an ache going on, but hopefully with another 5 days, and it'll be a 10-day course in all, hopefully after that I'll be back to normal. And I still have to go to the hospital, get an x-ray and see what they're going to do with my wisdom teeth. But yeah, it's good to be able to talk and open my mouth and eat normally, because that was all a bit of a pain, quite literally. So we will still we'll still see, like, over the next 3 days. Hopefully it'll be okay, because I've got another few days to finish the course. Right, so I can see that Karen says she was about to ask for a tooth update. So that's the tooth update for tonight, and hopefully our X-Plan says amoxicillin. So yeah, that's what I was taking the first time and the second time. I think the problem was that by the time I got to the dentist and they had a look at it, I'd already been on amoxicillin for 3 days. So it had calmed down a bit. And what I saw on the internet was that the courses are between 5 and 10 days, or maybe 5 and 12 days. And 5 is for a mild infection, is what they said. And mine certainly didn't feel mild. So I think maybe, even though the dentist said, I would have prescribed amoxicillin anyway, I think, had they seen me when I started taking it, and I was kind of getting pain underneath my jaw down here, and I couldn't open my mouth, and I couldn't even really brush my teeth because I couldn't open my jaw. So I think if they'd seen me then, they probably would have given me more than 5 days, because I think 5 days wasn't enough. I need a longer course than that. So 10 days is hopefully going to be okay, and I'm just hoping that I don't get the same infection again. But it's difficult because my wisdom teeth are in the wrong place. They're kind of off to the side, and they should be in line with the other teeth. So it means that there's like a gap down the side of them where stuff can get in and cause an infection. So I'm hoping that in the future that doesn't happen again. I'll have to just try and maybe I have to drink the salt water every day to stop it from happening. But we will see. Right. Okay, right. Well, let me see if anything's happened here. Okay, Karen's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, I enjoyed last night's analysis. You hold nothing back. If YouTube can't face the truth, beam them up. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. Here, Diamond Girl 1234 says, water pick. I don't know what that means. What, a pick of water? Water pick. And then Melody Rock says salt water. So that's something that the dentist has said, but I remember this from years ago when I had an infection. And they say to make... and when I had tonsillitis as well. Multiple times. And they say to have... to gargle salt water. So you just put loads of salt in water and then gargle it. And it's disgusting. Obviously don't swallow it. But same thing for the tooth, just trying to, swish around some water to help it, or do whatever it does. That's a good thing for it. But there's only so much time I can kind of spend doing that, because obviously it's so salty. Because you don't want to be swallowing that. So anyway, Sue says water pick is an at-home dental device. Rinses out your mouth. So thank you for that. Waterpick is a name of tooth flossing with water. Oh, okay, right. So yes, I have a water flosser, or what do we call it? Maybe that. I think it's like a water flosser, something like that. I'm sure that they're different water pick brand names, but So I've got one of those, and it's really good, and I use that every day. And what I do find interesting is that you can, and I know this when I used to brush my teeth, and used to brush my teeth thoroughly, and I didn't really used to floss, because getting like the floss string between the teeth were it's just like really difficult to do. And I guess because my teeth at the back are obviously kind of out of line with each other, but getting it to the back was an absolute nightmare. So I didn't really used to do that, using the dental floss. That's what it's called, but my brain wouldn't let me know what the word was. So using the dental floss I found really difficult, because I couldn't get between my teeth. And I never used to do that. I just used to brush my teeth. But now, since using the water floss thing, or the water jets, kind of putting it between the teeth, then you realise how much stuff is still between your teeth, even though you think that you've cleaned your teeth. So it's really good. And for me, I mean, there are some insane settings. I'm just remembering when I first got it and learning to use it, because I didn't know how to use it. And I think probably maybe 4 or 5 times my bathroom would be sprayed with water, because obviously if it's not inside your mouth and you press the button, it shoots it out straight up into the ceiling. So, and then it does it really quickly. It goes like that. So you're trying to now control it and try and find the off button. And yeah, the problem with mine is I'm used to it now, but where you grip it is where the power button is. So you can accidentally turn it on and turn it off. So now I've obviously got a different way of holding the water flosser so that my thumb isn't on the front of it to accidentally set it off. But yeah, lots of settings. Some of them, are kind of violent with how hard it shoots out water. But I'd say I go on probably about halfway, but it's got a DIY setting, which means that I can set it on just enough power to still be okay, still be comfortable, but yeah, still kind of do the job. But I think they say that it is, certainly in my case, it is more effective than using dental floss, because I can at least get the water flosser into the positions at the back and kind of go between each tooth and kind of move it forwards and backwards and get in between teeth that I just can't access with the dental floss. And I remember when I was at the dentist years and years and years ago, they even gave me like a special tool to try and get to the back because my teeth were in such a weird position. Trying to clean between them was a bit difficult. But Liz says I sometimes will put mouthwash in mine as something that I haven't done. I guess because like sometimes I don't know what it is, but it might be when you get like the perfectly wrong angle with the water flosser, and it might go underneath your gum momentarily, and you think, oh, what happened there? And it's a little bit painful, but then it kind of returns back to normal. So I think it might be that. I'm not sure about doing that with with mouthwash. I just use water. I think the thing just says to use water, so that's what I have been using. So that's the tooth or wisdom tooth antibiotics update. Everything seems to be going okay, and hopefully it will continue in the next few days of antibiotics. So we are now at 10 to midnight, and we will look into maybe the vote for tonight. It looks like All Right Now has 58% of the vote. And Liz says, but don't do it with your infection, will probably burn. Yeah, and this is something that I found when I used mouthwash, I guess a couple of days ago, because my tooth was feeling a bit better. I used mouthwash, and I think that did aggravate it a bit. So I'm stopping with the mouthwash and just doing really light brushing, which I bought a special. I sport a special. I'm just trying to see what my brain was doing with the letters. But I bought a special toothbrush, which isn't actually special at all. It's really cheap, but soft and very thin. So it meant that when I couldn't really open my mouth, I could still brush, because the electric toothbrush I've got is, so much wider that I couldn't get that into my mouth. And I think maybe the electric toothbrush is too aggravating. So I just bought a cheap soft toothbrush and I've been using that. And hopefully that'll be fine. Right. Now, Rose says Troll Corner. And I haven't really... Oh, right. I just remembered something. Okay, let's jump into Troll Corner, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! Now, this might be a very quick Troll Corner, because I haven't been keeping up with the trolls. Unfortunately, I haven't been looking out for them or seeing them. I don't think I might have been lucky recently that I haven't maybe got too many troll comments. But one comment that I had, which was today, which I found quite entertaining, was under the Sir Paul McCartney video, where I'm pointing out that he's got the same vein, the same unique vein in 1962, even going up to the present day, where it kind of goes down the bottom part of his hand and then curls up towards his kind of middle finger, and it is so weird. And then I showed my hands of how, my veins don't bend anyway, they just go straight. So then I asked people at home to look at their own hands and see if they have this weird bend of a vein, and if they do, then they've got to look at themselves in the mirror and see if they look exactly like Sir Paul McCartney, because those are the two things that have to be true in order for people to believe these conspiracy theories. So somebody said, yeah, great video and well presented, but how do you explain the difference in skull shape and the difference in height and the normal things, the things that you can literally put on different shoes and be a different height? And yeah, I'm not gonna say any names here, but I have been at events with very well-known people, and I've been talking to those very well-known people, and I know how tall they are. But I know that in real life, I was talking to them in real life, but I know that they are a particular height, and when I'm talking to them, they're talking to me at eye level, but I know that we're not the same height. So it means that the person that I'm talking with has something on their feet that's making them at the same level, so the same height as me, but when they're not the same height as me. So and sometimes it has been dramatic how the difference in height is. So and it's only ever really going one way. It's never kind of very tall people then pretending or being short or crouching. It's very much the difference between somebody's height before and then after. When talking about changing somebody's height, all you need to do is have different shoes on. That's what I'm saying. And the difference in the shoes that you're wearing can have a dramatic difference. Just in a picture, when you're not even the person's feet aren't even in the shot. So you can be the same height, you can be shorter, you could be taller. There could be somebody who's taller than somebody else in a picture, but they're not actually taller than them, barefoot. So yeah, people saying about, how do you explain the difference in height? It's the easiest thing to explain in the world. You could have different shoes on, or they could be on a higher bit of ground, or they can even be standing on a step. So yeah, so many easy ways to explain that. And then somebody else commented saying, this explanation is a joke, not even comparing skulls. And by the way, I compared the picture of the Fall, the fake Paul, with Sir Paul McCartney, and you can see it's exactly the same because I fade between the two faces. There's no difference in that skull shape whatsoever. So anyway, they said, yeah, not to compare the skull shape means that this is void. And they said, saying it's the same vein and relying on that is a joke. But I would argue, and I just said to them, look at the vein in your hand and see if it matches. And I did a laughing face because, yeah, well, when you talk about actual anatomy and looking, it's like with my hands here, look, my vein here pops out a little bit. So, and look, this one down here, it goes around the side. And so if you saw this in like 1962 and then you see it again in 2026 and I look the same, the likelihood is, well, I wouldn't look like this if I was, 60 odd, well, no, I'd have to be like 80 years old. But it means that I've aged, but I still have the same veins going on. You think, well, yeah, that's something that they don't change. They've never changed with plastic surgery, is changing veins. So anyway, yeah, we'll get out of Troll Corner, and that's just something that I remembered from today. And I do say in that video that if you still don't accept what I'm saying, then there is an explanation for that. And that's just, I mean, it is literally as simple as not playing with a full deck. But I have had people who previously believed in those conspiracies and stories and believed particular books that were published, but once they're presented with what I've presented in my videos, they then say that, yeah, it's now conclusive that what is written and all of these different conspiracy theories are wrong. So it's great when I get a message like that, because people then realize, oh yeah, that you can't fake that. You know, imagine somebody pretending to be me and trying to fake like these veins down my arm. You know, that particular one that I've got there. That's, yeah, there's no change in that. There's a little kind of a little corner that we go down there, but there's no weird U shape to it. So anyway, yeah, let's stop talking about veins. Right, we will be jumping into, I think, yeah, let me get this likeometer back on screen, because we have hit the likes goal. Let's get out of Troll Corner and then we'll get into tonight's cover video. And it looks like for tonight we're going to be taking a look at All Right Now, which had, where was it, 59% of the vote. So yeah, thank you guys for voting for that. And let me just make sure that I click on the right thing. We'll jump into this and then we'll have the fill jam after. And oh, there's a picture corner as well. I think just one picture in picture corner. So I'll see you guys for that after this. Rock.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this now, baby? Maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now don't you wait or hesitate. Let's move before I raise the body rate. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now. Let me tell you now. I took her home to my place, watching every move on her face. And she said, look, what's your game, baby? Are you trying to put me in shape? I said, slow, don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? And she said, love, Lord above. Now you're trying to trick me into love. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now.
And there we have it. That was my version of the free classic All Right Now. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I do have the guitar out, as you could probably tell. So we are having the fill jam, of course. And I might turn this on now to make sure that it's all going to be working. I have to wake up. This is something that I should have done while the video was playing, but I didn't plan ahead. Right, so let me unlock this. This is something as well that I do when I'm on my laptop and I've got my screens here for my Mac Studio. I always go to my mouse here to try and move the arrow on the laptop. And I always have to think, oh no, right, access this over here. There's too many things to think about. Right, so what we're going to do is have a guitar backing track that we've typed in. And right, so this one is, oh, we've got to get into Picture Corner, but this one is called Peaceful Mellow Guitar Backing Track in E minor, and it's from Jam In Backing Tracks. Have we had this before? It's like JAM, then apostrophe IN. Jam In Backing Tracks. So that's the one that you can check out yourselves if you want to play to this backing track. Right, we will jump into Picture Corner just quickly. And right, let me get the screen capture on screen to see what's going on. Right, here we have, this has been sent in by Lisa. And the message is, you know you've made it as a rock star when people wear your merchandise in a golf tournament, long sleeve tee, and another great dad hat, grey. Somehow I putt better with my Phil Henley ball marker, specially made sterling silver. Exudes confidence. Thanks, Phil. I beat the guys in this match. So thank you for that, Lisa, and congratulations for winning. I don't know whether having my face as a ball marker, is that legal? I'm not sure whether that's legal, but well, it must be if it's allowed in a competition. So thank you for that, Lisa. I haven't thought about bringing out my own golf merch, but maybe if I do get back to playing, it'll be a bit weird if I was wearing, I was marking my ball with my own face. So yeah, I'll just stick to the marker that I had and have is part of my cap, and it's a Callaway cap, and it has a little marker on there that's like a magnet. So it's really good for me because yeah, I always lose markers, and then I put what we've got here is like a 10p piece, which is like a silver circle, and I used to use that, but yeah, it works a lot better to just have it on the cap, take it off, mark the ball, and then put it back on and stuck on your cap, and everything's fine. So then you don't you kind of lose it in your pocket, or it doesn't fall out of your pocket. So yeah, there we go. Right, we are going to jump into this peaceful mellow guitar backing track, E minor. Okay, I can hear that. I don't know whether you can hear that or not. I'm just going to let this play through. Now let's see how long it is. Oh, 4 minutes and 13 seconds. So we're not going to be running over tonight. Right. Okay, this is going to be random as to what the levels are like. Oh yeah, red dude, let's zoom out. Because on my laptop, the volume is at half, like 50%. So I don't know whether that means the backing track's going to be too quiet and the guitar's going to be really loud. Where's the red dude? There he is. Okay, so here we go. We're going to give it a go. Let me know what the levels are like. If they're rubbish, I can't really do much about it because I can't hear the mix myself. Right, let's play. Oh yeah, this is really quiet. Oh, I don't know whether I have to start it again or not. shouldn't have done that. Okay, now I can't hear anything. Oh, what have I done? Okay. Can you hear this? Okay, can't hear it too clearly. What's happening? Okay, we went into an advert at the end. But there we have it. That was tonight's Phil Jam, peaceful, mellow guitar backing track in E minor from Jam In Backing Tracks. And that comes from Jam 'IN Backing Tracks. So, yeah, a bit of a random one for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that and that the sound was okay. It was a little bit, funny here. Right at the end there, I was taking a bit of a liberty with getting a little bit borderline too jazzy, but it was what it was. I don't know whether me adjusting the levels so I can hear the backing track, whether that changes the overall mix or not. It made it disappear for a while, and then I got it back. So hopefully you could yeah, hear that. So we are going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Look out for that one. Make sure you are over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus to get notified for that video, because YouTube isn't being particularly good with telling subscribers about the videos at the moment. So head over there. You can make a free account, and we are going to be here with the next live stream, which is going to be the New Year's Eve live stream. So I'll be seeing in the new year with you guys on the channel. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I hope you have a great rest of the Christmas week, and then going into next week as well. And the next time I see you, I'll be going into 2026. So we'll see what happens then. Have a great Saturday and a Sunday, or even if you don't know what day it is, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And just quickly, Diamond Gold donated $2 and says, thanks, Phil. Great jam. Until next time. So thank you for that. And yes, indeed, until next time, I'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll see you on New Year's Eve. So have a great day, like I've already said, evening, morning, whatever it is, and I'll see you guys at tomorrow night's video. Catch you then. Rock!